book of Wings Gaming and go for a Lich. Because they are the team that goes for Lich and Morphling a lot.
It's a little passive against the Rubik lean-in. A lot of potential early game pressure.
I mean, I think HGT just want to run 2-1-2, right? Visage Drow is going to just run over the Darkseer.
Yeah.
And then you just want to make sure that Morphling gets some decent levels. So I think 2-1-2 is probably the best, and Lich is actually the perfect 2-1-2, I think.
It can be exploited by really good roaming, though. Like, there are Shadow Fiend being picked up means Drow, Visage, and Shadow Fiend. Any of them that get caught by the roam will die, most likely. So, that said, though, we haven't seen teams execute it, which is where maybe they feel they can get away with it.
Maybe Earthshaker, like, sure, it's not a range support, but whatever. Like, you just want a hero that saves your Shadow Fiend, help out your Morphling.
Yeah, if they want to range support, I still think like a Dazzle would be pretty good here. It's very heavy on the physical damage, but they have Shadow Fiend to somewhat balance it out.
They also want some stuns.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where... What other supports have we seen? We've seen a lot of Disruptor in this qualifier. Decent against Darkseer, I would say.
I mean, Venge just like makes this lineup go crazy, but I don't think that's enough attack range.
My one concern for HGT is if they don't completely dominate the lanes, they don't have much in the way of tools to deal with a Slark later on. But they're just going to go all in on the push here. They get the profit, and that means it's not an off-lane Morphling. It's a...
It could be a jungle.
Oh, it could be a jungle profit, actually. Yeah,
Support Profit's also
what they're going to do.
Seems more likely.
It's not very popular. Support Profit's been done before, too.
But it is Kaka, so it does look like the 4 position
it's
profit.
It's a 4 position. I think he's going to teleport into the enemy jungle, try to block the pull and secure Morphling in the start, and then he's going to jungle himself. But then he needs to find level 2 somewhere.
Basically just do the Ohio thing, except he's not actually the off-laner, so...
We'll see. Either that or just starts in the jungle and just plays super greed.
I mean, that is where the Drow Visage is extremely important, because if you don't have a super strong dual range, you're not going to be able to zone out the Darkseer. But I also feel like this is where maybe we see, like, Lumi, I don't know if you remember, well, you probably do, the old fluff and stuff, complexity, like, level 1, just make it look like you're running just an off-lane, solo off-lane, and then all of a sudden the 2 supports show up.
Yeah.
Like, if they lean atop and make it look like they're elsewhere.
Yo, they're going for Courier Snipe. I love this.
Oh, wow.
This game is GG.
Yeah,
it's done.
Profit already.
It's done.
I'm worried he put that ward too far in. That's really close to tower range, I think.
It might be in True Sight, but out of the auto attack range. Because the True Sight range is a bit larger than the attack range, right?
That is super close, I think.
I feel like
just based on intuition, but I really feel like this is like 50 range within.
I feel like something like this, they must have practiced it, so...
You're not going to misplace that one.
I guess we're going to find out if he did really soon, if he did.
So based on draft, who are we favoring here?
I think HGT have the better draft. Probably. I don't think Wings can pressure them enough early on. If they don't, they lose. Like, they have to win the roaming battle. And hasn't been good at this.
They need to me, they need to start from like the 0-minute mark. We have seen too many teams try to start in the lanes, they start losing the lanes, and then they react with the dual roam instead of like the way LGD was doing it in the summit, where they just were already going for that gank off the bat.
Yep. I agree.
And
well, we'll see.
Don't see it.
We'll find out and keep in mind.
Just on the edge. Interesting that we see the particle.
Yeah, that's just a Dota TV bug, I guess.
Yep.
That's funny.
So HGT, they need to win 2-0 to make it to the next phase in the TI5 qualifier. Wings, they need to at least win 1 game before they can make it happen. We're going to find out what's going to happen here in the first game of Wings versus HGT with Luminous and LD.
All right, Lumi, you heard her. 2-0 or get out, HGT. Now, we have not seen many teams losing with this type of lineup. The Drow Visage, the heavy push with the Prophet as a little bonus.
30 seconds.
It feels like this strategy right now is just very difficult for teams in this qualifier to counter. I have not seen Wings run an early dual roam yet. I'm not saying they can't do it well, but in general it seems like teams just don't know how to execute it properly.
Yeah, it's really hard to stop once it gets online because they group up and your Slark is just terrible in that situation. So Slark needs to get that early Shadow Blade or Blink and just wreak havoc before the grouping up happens. And when the grouping up happens, you look towards your Darkseer Lina to be your kind of teamfight contributors. But I think, like you said, it's mostly down to the early game, so let's focus on that. TA gaining that first rune. You know, that's actually not a bad thing, because a Courier Snipe, he's up to 600 gold.
Yeah. It's
not something you expect at all, right?
It's almost something HGT is happy about. Now they know the bottle timing. They'll even let him get a creep just so that you know exactly when it's coming out. But yeah, this should be long before the 2-minute mark. He does have the teleport, the boots as well, which is important to help ensure he gets this. But so far, we're not seeing
going back to base.
We're not seeing the early roam. Oh, top lane looks like they're trying to make a bit of harassment happen here. Not sure they'll get the kill. No, Angelai's okay, but they're not trying to dual roam. They're just dual laning. They're running their own 2-on-2.
Which I think it's... Well, no, the Rubik is just hanging out. I think he's pulling and doing some weird stuff.
So yeah, I guess the point is they're not pressuring the lanes is kind of what I'm getting at here. I don't know about that. I feel like when we've seen teams just play passively against 5-range Drow Visage, you just don't win.
Well,
here we go.
Let's see it.
This is the kind of strategy you save for a must-win game. And Kaka off the bat, he's gonna find the courier. He got the bottle first. It looks like. Still,
he might. No, he's fine. I would cancel the clarity.
I thought he was gonna kill before the bottle arrived. It was like just in the delivery range when he got the kill.
Okay, well, you know,
still, you get the courier. At the same time, it's TA versus Shadow Fiend, and TA doesn't hugely need the bottle regen at this stage of the lane, so...
Well, it makes it such that if HGT denies the runes to the TA, there's no bottle crow to fall back onto. So,
but it's also a bit hard to fully harass the TA out because of refraction and the matchup. So.
Well, if he has mana to support it, which without bottle...
He's got 2 bottle charges, so he's got like at least probably 3 usages of refraction at this stage.
Yeah, now it's very important for TA to like actively go to the bottom lane too.
And well, Super is there to secure it. So well played, but good adjustment by Wings, I would say.
But I mean, the courier snipe, even though the ward was part of the investment, you just made a bunch of gold.
It also just helps pay for the jungle profit. You know, this is a greedier draft. They need that bit of extra gold, and they're getting it. And he can be useful in the jungle here. Just stacking the camps for the Shadow Fiend to farm later on, that can help him catch up quite a bit.
Sure, yeah.
I imagine what we're going to see is Kaka just, either him or the Visage, just really rushing that medallion. And that's the big thing with the strategies. They're also dire side, so they can go Roche exceptionally early. Wings do have TA traps to scout. Darkseer dropping extremely low. Oh, he's just off in the jungle.
I think regardless of the medallion, they have enough damage to get the Roche done.
It'll just help secure it a bit easier. Up to 1,000 gold already in the Darkseer. He's having a pretty good start here.
Yeah, but his tower, I think, is taking a ton of damage on the top lane.
It is the least important tower on the map, but it's just so early. He's going to TP in the Rubik for now, try to soak up some experience. They're going to go in with some auto attacks here. They're giving a lot of levels early on to Wings, though. They're making pretty good use of the map in general. Lina's off in the jungle, doing a bit of stacking. Darkseer was farming the jungle. They're getting free farm on their Slark. Honestly, I feel like this is about as good as it's ever going to get against 5 ranged heroes with your courier getting sniped and a Drow Visage. Like, this is a really nice start for Wings, to be honest.
I would say so, but at the same time, HGT right now don't have... That's not the strength of their lineup, right? They're waiting to farm 10 more minutes. So... a very passive farming laning stage, that's what they want as well.
Yeah, they'd like to be CSing better than this, though.
Yeah.
There's 3 heroes in the top 4 right now for...
I mean, SF is doing really well mid, right?
Yeah.
Consider that's a TA matchup. I think you're very happy with what you got.
Yeah, he really should be with the courier snipe. Like, sure, TA gets a room, but that also means TA's out of the lane for a creep wave, which definitely helps you secure those early souls. Morphling going for a regen rune bottom now. XT2 will grab it. Meanwhile, in the Dire jungle, looks like they found in July, but they don't have much in the way of lockdown here. Just the Sprout.
This team actually just doesn't have stuns.
They have like the adaptive. Yeah, the adaptive is going to be the big one, but yeah, it's a while before that becomes a threat. He doesn't even have it skilled yet.
Well, bottom lane here looks like, oh, actually Shadow Fiend.
That DD rune doing some work. Oh, not enough to get the kill in air. He barely salves his way to freedom. Close call.
Looks like he'll just walk it back.
Yeah, that you definitely just go back to Fountain at this point.
There's some greedy player who will just get himself a salve and just be like, I'll wait, but that's fine.
Dire's middle tower is under
so this Morphling off lane is doing as much as you expect without any support. Sitting here sapping some experience.
Yeah, he's level 3 at 5 minutes. I mean, it's not quite what the Darkseer is getting, but they're also not really pressuring his tower. They are going to make a go here. Oh, couldn't get a range for the lift.
Yeah, lower levels of telekinesis just have terrible range.
Yeah.
There's even a slight argument of getting your second point telekinesis at level 3 if you have a strong follow-up stun like Lina's.
It's certainly where you want to get at least the 2 points. I feel like that's when you start to see it a little more reliably able to catch people out.
Yeah.
Especially at nighttime. Yeah, Kaka is still jungling here. It looks like
a
no tally build.
The no tally blade mail.
Bone 7's gonna somewhere. Bone 7 is smiling. He should be coming here soon. Hopefully,
Ooh,
nice toss back,
left.
beautifully done by Super, and they're gonna convert this into a first blood. That really equalizes out the courier kill from earlier. And immediately in July, he's hunting the Shadow Fiend stacks already. He looks to find Kaka here in the jungle. He might be able to steal this as well. It's only a level 2 Iron Shell. It's going to take a little while. Do they bring in more reinforcements? TA could definitely help with this. For now, they might end up helping someone farm it if they're not careful. Kaka has leeching experience if nothing else. Still not bringing in anyone else. You can see HGT know the importance of these stacks. Immediately, they rotate in their Visage. I wonder how much Wings really want to commit. It seems they are going to back off, and they may allow Air to just take those in the end.
Yeah, but that Darkseer has been doing a lot, right? Ganking mid, harassing their jungle. By comparison, Morphling is just not doing anything. Just sitting there bottom lane, can't really farm. And I think that's really just the nature of the fact that Darkseer just does more.
A lot of it's the jungle profit as well. If that's a proper tri lane, there's a lot more kill potential.
That's definitely true.
But he's still playing very well on top of that.
Yeah, it is kind of a supportive Nature's Prophet build. It's got to work. I would say not going to land.
That would have been a big one. Had a double damager in there as well, but
yeah,
able to just waveform away in the nick of time.
I mean, I guess if you're HGT, you're happy because you're getting farmed. And if you're Wings, you're also happy because you just first blood a Shadow Fiend and you're getting farmed as well. I honestly don't expect anything really happen for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, I still feel like, just given the nature of the HGT draft, that at this point they should be farther up on CS. But Wings are going to make their move down ZSMJ top lane. They stun him. Following up with the Ion Shield damage, they will manage to bring him down. Slowing down the engine of this early game aggression for HGT. Now they chase in July, but he's able to retreat himself away. It looks like wanted to go for a bit more. Had the stun ready, but nobody else wanted to engage further. That is a very nice kill. That and the Shadow Fiend, the two most crucial heroes for the stage of the game. You want the Drow level 6, and ideally to max out the Aura, and you definitely want that Shadow Fiend max. So
I mean, looking at the draft, we don't expect a Rubik and Lina to pick up these early game kills, right? But Super has just been so active and finding those kills. I think he started mid, pulling lanes, and then he teleported top to defend the tower. So
secured the rune as well for the TA, which made a big difference.
Yeah,
he's been all over the place.
For me, he's the MVP in the first 8 minutes of gameplay for Radiant.
Yeah, normally not something you would really say, given that it's not like he's at an explosive box score, so to speak, but yeah, it's the slightly more subtle things that make the difference here. Looks like they may want to make another go on the top lane. They just want to keep the pressure up on ZSMJ. They're bringing in 2 more heroes. I'm not sure if they smoked for this, but they're definitely not visible. And in fact, they did smoke Lumi.
Yep.
If they find another kill in this TA, I feel like it's going to completely gut the aggression from HGT moving over the next 10 minutes. Ward gets dropped down. They have good position in July. It's going to start drawing the creep wave back, maybe even baiting HGT in. This could turn out well. No, they're changing targets. They want to find maybe the Shadow Fiend or the Prophet off in the jungle, but there's nothing to be found here. The stack's already caved in, and Shadow Fiend just farming mid. It's starting to become a big time investment going for this.
Which I think they're fine of. I mean, the supports are okay, not hitting level 6 for a while.
Look how well Wings is farming.
Yeah.
Their Slark is still even with the Shadow Fiend, who had the jungle stacked for him, with a Drow Aura backing him up as well. It's just a testament to how well they've moved around early.
I think they're just looking to really dive. The Lift's going to be there. LSA to follow up. They should have enough damage to get the kill. They will get it. The Sprout is going to go on the TA, though. Do they have enough to break the refraction? She's finally starting to take some damage. Nice gust coming out on the side. They will have soul assumption, but yeah, he's walking off.
They can go back in here. They have the regen rune. They can lay down some traps, and if anybody sticks around like this Visage, they may fall victim to the driving aggression. In July, moving forward, he's about to be in range for a meld shot. He'll get it off. Beautiful gust there from ZSMJ to force them back, but this is what you want to be doing versus Drow. Visage is running at the enemy team and not allowing them to be on the aggressive. They are getting split pushed a little bit mid, but it's the offlane Morphling can only really chip away at this tower. And I mean, to see HGT in danger of losing any towers at 10 minutes is just an amazing start for Wings.
Well, they did TP 5 heroes top, so that was quite a bit of commitment.
I'm not sure if they can hold this mid push yet, though. They do have decent spam. That's one thing that the Lina Rubik give you.
Because when there's an Iron Shell on the Slark at this point in the game, and he just pounce and ults and attacks you, you can't deal with that damage output.
And they don't want to risk it anyway. The familiars are still not out also. Another benefit to the aggression on the Visage's lane. He's not getting a whole lot of time. Only level 4 at 10 minutes. And they were jungling the Prophet. Again, it's just... A lot of this comes back to the Darkseer. He was chasing him around in the jungle. He was having his own poles leeched and contested, and they weren't able to zone him out properly.
What do you feel about the drums on the Slark instead of going for the Blink or the Shadow Blade straight up? Because I feel like they have the advantage, and if you get it that much earlier, you could just wreck this team.
Yeah, it's a decent item, I guess, if you just want to be up in their face, giving that bit of survivability, but I mean, drums has been nerfed a lot over the past year, and I feel like it's become pretty situational on most carries.
I think so too.
Normally, if you want like a cheap stats item, you get the Aquila, which is a lot more damage. Is like the damage to cost ratio is a lot better.
The only few heroes that get drums because of the mana it gives you, like Ember Spear. You really need that.
Yeah.
But for Slark, I don't really.
They already have one pair of Arcane Boots. He's got Stick and Treads. I think he could have skipped it and gone for the Shadow Blade, but I mean, to me, it's like if they fight in the next couple of minutes and he lives because of it or he gets a kill because of it, then it's worth it. But if not, then you look back on it and say you should have gone Shadow Blade, or even just straight into like a Blink Dagger or Yashua potentially.
Because if you look at it right now, that this HG team has no way to stop a Slark. So
that is again the only way they can stop him is if they catch him by surprise with like a Morphling stun into Visage Bird Drop or like a Drow Silence, but that only works for so long as far as the silence goes. Yeah. And now with the new adaptive, you have a little more warning with the projectile.
Oh, you have a lot of warning. It's actually quite slow.
Yeah. So I feel like it's not really a proper solution by any means. Wings are going to start giving up towers, though. They give up the tier 1. HGT have a lot of momentum in this top lane. They may go for 2, but at the same time, Wings are pressuring mid, and they're pressuring bottom, and it looks like they're going to get at least one, possibly both. They're going to start the TPs back. They want to slow down this push a little bit. The tower mid will fall. TA claims that. I don't think HGT is getting enough here, to be honest. They may not lose the tower bottom, but just trading towers evenly against this draft it's just not what you want to be doing. It's better than nothing, that's for sure, but not the dominant start they were expecting.
Well, trading at T1 and the T2 for 2 T1s, right?
Yeah.
That's the trade. I mean, like you said, Wings is very happy with that. They're not the pushing lineup, at least
I've seen so many Drow Visage games this tournament where, like, they don't lose a tower because they just push so fast that the enemy team, if they try to split push, gives up 2 or 3 towers for, like 3 towers for 1 or 2 towers for nothing even. So
you're saying this is like a testament of how well Wings has controlled the early game?
Yeah, even like a 2-for-1 trade, I feel like I don't think they should be giving up any of these other towers though. Like that's the top lane, that's your off lane is Radiant. It's not a big deal, but you definitely want to defend these towers mid and bottom. I don't think we'll see Wings give those up so easily. So they did get the medallion, by the way.
Yep, and Drow's gone drums.
Drow drums.
Again, does she have Aquila as well? So Aquila treads drums with another Wraith Band. They have so much damage. It's going to be a straight Roche. And a mech finish. This is like one of those...
Do they have a TA trap in there?
They don't. They don't. This reminds me of like a Brood War timing attack where you get your +1 upgrade and you just go, right?
But they seem to be suspicious, and they are heading towards the pit.
Are they going to be dead?
They might be able to catch them in the pit, though. That's the big question mark here. Trap comes down, and they know. Now they can look for the initiation. You know Surge is in. Roche drops pretty low here. They dropped the wall, preventing HGT from leaving this pit for now, but they're just going to commit to the Roche. They get the big boy off the bat. DSMJ trapped within. Out comes the Gust. That's a double damage TA blow. Oh, no, there is a double damage now. They're just spawned, and they're looking to go. Aegis will end up hitting the deck here, and all of a sudden it's a massacre in the pit. They lost the Drow. The Vision, the Shadow Fiend as well. Wings have just sprung a load of aggression. They almost get Kaka that final attack, following him towards the well, but he's able to TP out of the nick of time. And Lumi, that was a massive gamble for HGT. Yep. Wings didn't even know it was happening. They just suspected it was, and they were right. They got there just in time.
Yeah, I thought for a second that it was HGT that had the mech. So I was like, oh, that's a great timing. You combine mech with the Aegis, and then you could do a lot. But obviously, it was the Wings mech. And the double damage, the double Iron Shell, it had 1 on the Darkseer, 1 on the Slark, just in that small clump area in the pit.
And you can't leave the pit because you're giving up the Drow and Shadow Fiend Rs if they walk out. So they actually had no exit strategy. With the old wall, that's not a big deal because it's only 15 seconds. That's the 45-second wall. You're trapped in there for ages.
Yeah, I think the big problem was that Shadow Fiend did not... Oh, here comes the jump.
Lift into silence. XTT, no chance to strength morph. And Wings are really heating up here in the clutch. Just need this one game. A win here, and HGT are eliminated.
The score's 7-0, so there's that too.
I mean, I think, honestly, if you play this game out from this position 100 times, Wayne should probably win over 90 times, maybe 95.
Yeah, I agree.
Not to say that they won't lose, but they shouldn't lose from this position.
So back to the Roche fight a bit. Shadowfiend could not get off his ultimate. I think it's completely fine to just ult in the base, even when your team is taking the Roche, just to kind of be like, hey, back off, or at least apply the debuff. Yeah, as soon as you charged in, everybody was just dead. Especially
in that position. You want everyone... Oh, it looks like there's a bit of a TP out from Kaka. He has really mastered the art of these rat TPs.
I mean, it's fine if you're not down by this much.
Yeah.
Because what you're going to do, pick off a courier, pick up...
Oh, when you're playing from ahead, that is amazing.
Yeah, but when you're playing from behind, that doesn't actually do anything.
It's like, oh, we see a Slark that we can't kill.
Okay, they could kill this courier, I think.
Yeah, that's true. But not before the items are delivered, it looks like. That's a blink on Rubik at 16 minutes. Oh, my.
Are they TPing it?
Okay, just in general with this net worth lead, you have an 88.5% win rate. And, I mean, I think given the draft, HGT are supposed to be ahead by that amount at this stage. At least.
Here comes another smoke. So this one with the blink drums online, this Slark is actually immortal, unless he misplays.
Pretty much.
You talked about there's a silence into...
I mean, what do they have on him? They don't have like a disruptor, you know, with like glimpse into static storm. They don't have a Doom, although I don't even think Doom's very good against Slark now with the cast point, but... And also you need the Ags now anyway. I mean, they just don't have... They don't have the instant silence of like a Skywrath Mage, which is good until he gets BKB or Manta.
Ooh, two smokes run into each other.
Wings are pretty ready for this. They've got the whole gang here. They're going to lift XTT off the bat. He will start the Strength Morph. Tries to retreat out, but that's a Desolator TA. Already. Had it about the 15-minute mark, I believe now. Replicate created. Going to run away in July, surging in. Trying to go deep here. Everybody retreats, but XTT, oh, he may find air. The trap gets laid down, but it's too late. He's TP'd out.
Oh, he might just get Laguna here. That Slark is chasing a Rubik around on the background. Lina dropping a couple... Okay. Now the chase goes the other direction. Slark could actually turn around. He could regen a little bit. Okay, they're on the same team. I'm not sure what I was saying.
I thought you were talking about the Shadow Fiend for a second. Like, he already TP'd out, Luby.
Yeah.
Is your brain having some lag here?
My brain is definitely having some lag. Kala.
Okay.
I mean, we are a perfect world.
Is that how you say it, Kala? I always say Kale. Not sure if that's correct.
It's Kala.
Kala. Okay.
Oh my god.
It's been a long day, Lemmy.
What's HGT's plan right now?
I don't think they have one. the Roche was the big comeback mechanic. They
got further behind.
They cannot push, right? Well, they cannot 5-man. That is a given. They're okay at ratting, but not great. The heroes that are mobile don't do that much damage. Like the Prophet has gone Ogre Club, Treads. That's kind of underwhelming. The Drow cannot get too aggressive because she's not that mobile at this stage of the game. Morphling is going to be strength morph for the most part, doesn't hit that hard. The birds are decent. I mean, I think they can probably take like a tier 1 or 2, but I really don't see them getting much further than that. And certainly they cannot 5-man into what Wings have. There's just no chance.
By the way, Rubik has a 4-second or a long stun because he stole Adaptive Strike, and he actually has lower agility.
It still has the travel time, so I guess it doesn't have the slight cast animation to it.
Well, I don't think Drow's blinking away from
That's true. Nobody on HGT has a BKB or any real solution anyway, so... They are going double BKB, but... I mean, does that really bother Wings that much? They have a Deso TA, they have a Slark. I feel like they have plenty of damage to go through that regardless.
No, I don't think it bothers them much at all.
I don't think anything bothers Wings right now. They're like, we have HGT on their back. They're bloody and about to be knocked out, and then we move on.
Yep.
I have to say, it's pretty good poise from this team, given the way the last game went. I feel like a lot of teams would have just come out flat and even folded against a veteran team like HGT.
Maybe they feel like, you know, we're the better team, so even though we lost...
Yeah, CDEC was lucky to win that game.
Exactly.
It should have been 1-1. We kind of threw it away.
Move on and let's try to make it out of the group alive, you know?
But that's the winning mentality, and I feel like there's a lot of teams with equal skill that don't have that attitude necessarily. I
really like the blink choice on the mech, right? They don't really need anything else, and just the more offense you put against this HGT squad that can't really fight you back is all the better.
You just want to get in that Drow's face. Blink is great for that, and potentially we see some huge plays. Your vacuum into Light Strike rate combo, not the easiest thing to land, but it could be devastating.
Do you feel that Wings is playing it patient or just not pushing hard enough?
I think they could be a little more aggressive, at least as far as getting good wards up around the map. I would say that's the one thing I feel like they're missing. They have a couple of TA traps, but...
They had one behind the T2 in the mid lane, and I think got promptly dewarded by that sentry.
HGT does not have a gem yet, I don't believe. They're pretty poor.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you get good aggressive wards up with the lack of towers on the HGT side. They're probably not dewarding more than a handful of them. Slark gets BKB, and I mean, what HGT do, honestly? There's just no stopping this guy.
Yeah, I almost feel like he doesn't even need to get BKB. But
I mean, HGT is mostly physical damage, but it helps. No adaptive, no Shadow Fiend nukes to worry about, no Drow Silence to worry about. It just means he can go ultra ham in the fights. I would like to see Wings keep the pressure up, though. They have a nice lead. They don't need to try and break the base yet, but they can chip a little bit, get the aggressive wards up, try to starve HGT as much as possible. But I will say HGT doing a pretty good job of ratting here. They've managed to take down every tier 1, as well as the tier 2 top from earlier. The bottom tier 2 gets denied, but it's going to those tier 3s that's going to be the really tricky part.
Well, like, pushing up high ground against HGT, they do have a lot of damage, but the worst thing that you face is what, a Sprout on you?
Oh yeah, no. HGT can, Wings can get aggressive. It's more HGT can slow it down with the rat is all.
Yeah.
They're gonna find Kaka here. Gotta wait until he TPs out, then go for the back. And July still in pursuit. Now the trap comes out. This is gonna make it easier. Self sprouts and you ain't going nowhere, buddy. Vac and dead. Roche, I believe, just respawned as well. Oh no,
close to it.
Like the TA trap, man. It looks like the Roche icon from at least from this far from the preview screen. The downsides to having a dedicated observer.
So Morphling, I mean, it won't be a long time till he gets an item that makes him effective.
Yeah, even if he gets a blink, it's like blink into what? They don't have like a Mystic Flare or Laguna Blade or Finger of Death. Requiem is their big nuke, but it takes... You don't really want to be putting your Shadow Fiend in that position most of the time.
I think by the time that Shadow Fiend finishes BKB, the BKB is not enough anymore to protect him from the growing physical damage. So Wings should be looking for the next Aegis and then try to win the game. Because they have all the
this is like the absolute minimum possible time for respawn. And guess what? He's up. Oh, Wings, this is big. With this Aegis, you threaten high ground for sure.
Yeah. 4 traps around the Roche pick, you know.
Just to be safe.
Because last time they didn't have any either.
I mean, there's no way HGT can even think about contesting this. Their only contest is the split push. But they just don't split push that fast. Prophet, this is a 4-position Prophet. No Necro Book. Visage doesn't have anywhere close to an Aghanim Scepter. They don't have a Desolator on their team. They don't have a hero like TA that's more survivable as a carry. I feel their only play is the split push, but I just don't think they have the fast enough split push to make it work.
I mean, when your Prophet is going for BKB, okay, that's fine, but Slark and TA just doesn't care. And they're just walking up your high ground now.
Wings, they see blood in the water here, Lumi. They take this game. HGT are donezo. And they've already forced out the glyph. In fact, the Prophets come back home, not split pushing any longer. This is bad. This is very bad for HGT. There's no reason for Wings to back.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's when the Aegis runs out, they'll back, but it's going to be a long while.
They just got
I don't think the tier 3 will survive till Aegis runs out.
Adaptive comes out, just a little bit of a lobbing harass, but that's okay. Everybody from the low ground slowly chipping away. With the Deso, it's actually not that slow, even when the support's at the tower. And he blinks forward. Now the back combo, what a nice play! HGT completely being routed here, forced back towards the wall. They haven't killed anyone just yet, but everyone's so low that it's difficult to see them engaging further. They have managed to take down the tower. The team making a call. Let's not focus too much on hero kills. Let's just try to get the racks. They don't manage to do it yet, even with the Laguna Blade, just barely bringing down the Morphling. They have committed a lot of resources, the BKB being used up on the Slark, and now the TA forced to BKB defensively to walk away. I think a little overeager there, but at the same time, they didn't have any huge losses in the end. So, while Slark kills Nature's Prophet, he was split pushing top, and he pays the piper.
So I think if you're the Darkseer, you get a Vlad's next. You keep playing the style you've been playing. Just try to end the game, right?
Vlad's are, I mean, even Pipe would be decent here. There's, I
It's
guess
all
there's
physical
not,
damage, really.
Yeah, there's like Shadow Fee raises unprofitable. Yeah, I think you're right. Vlad's is probably the better item.
Yeah, just get cheap items that will let you push better or sustain the push a little bit better.
Wings are marching down mid again. Looking for this first full lane of Rax. They've left in July bottom lane though, and he is their most important hero for the push, I would say, as far as getting in nice and close. But they're just going to go anyway. They jump on air and kaboom! See you later, my friend. With the Shadow Fiend dead, this is trouble. He has the buyback ready. Is he going to bother to use it, or do they just forfeit this Rax? They go for the Sprout. They get a nice familiar stun here on the TA, but she's just not taking any damage. They have really no damage over time to speak of. So they'll reset. They're going to look to go in again momentarily. And any moment, XDD as well as his Templar Assassin buddy could just leap forward. They went with the Rubik Blink, did get the lift off on the Morph lane, and Darkseer's coming as well. HGT, their split push has been completely countered. Their Shadow Fiend still is not bought back, but he may need to at this rate. They continue to press forward. And this time, they're going to have the whole kit and caboodle. Laying into the Rax. The Blink goes in from the Slark, looking for the latch from the potential pounce, but chooses not to use in the end. The back, the wall combination. I think this one more of a zoning wall. They just want the Rax. They get the melee. They're looking for the rage. They force out the Drow BKB. Crucial. With that, Wings could even think about just rotating to top or bottom and going for the second lane of Rax.
Well, they're playing it safe. At least going to farm the creeps being pushed out on the top. Jesus, this is goal lead.
I mean, I look at this game, and to me it was HGT have to at least break even, and to me they should have at least a moderate lead from the laning stage.
I agree. I mean, that's coming after a courier snipe, right? Let's not forget about that. So they they had a
special tactic prepared for the situation. Well, let me tell you, Lumi, if they lose this game, a lot of people's compendium predictions are going to be severely messed up. I believe it was either Arteezy or PPD who said HGT were the favorites to win the qualifier. I know quite a few prominent pros thought they were either the first or the second team, and doesn't look like it right now.
And I don't see them getting any items that would make it look like it in the next 5-10 minutes either. Except Ultimate Orb from Darkseer. What do you think about that?
Probably a Hex. He's already got a Blink, right?
Okay.
Counters the BKBs from the Drowned Shadow Fiend if he gets it off. What else could it be?
Could be a Linken's. Just throw it on whoever that's going on high ground so he doesn't get Adaptive Strike.
That's true.
Although, not sure if that's really worth it. We saw Abyssal play on Darkseer.
I think when you're playing from ahead like this, I'd rather just see the... I'd personally rather just see a Hex.
The more offensive choice.
Because they get that one pick at its game.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing is like the direction you mentioned, getting a flat. They could... Do they have a Solar Crest on Wings yet? I feel like that's a... At this stage of the game, it's just an amazing item to have for your Siege, but they don't. At the same time, I don't think this TA is really dying anyway, but...
Gem, Blink Dagger, all the big items.
This is quintuple Blink Dagger at 28 minutes.
Well, the BKB on Roche is...
That's actually incredible. Top lane, meanwhile, they are going to make a go here. It looks like trying to isolate that Drow. They start to drop her low. ZSMJ will fall. And Wings start to really dial in the aggression. They can grasp this one. They know it's close. And they want it bad too. Super leaps forward. Another pick off from the Bash Bros. Before the lift even ends, they're already dead. And there's your Hex. 29 minutes in. Just an unbelievable showing here by Wings.
Yeah, and I don't think this game will last much longer. The score is 13-0, by the way. I don't think HGT will get a kill.
At this rate, it's going to be tough. There's the Blink, the back follow-up. Again, the Meld Strikes come out. Another takedown. They look for the Morph thing. They managed to at least bring down the support Lina, but that's it. And I believe the Adaptive got stolen here. Going in pretty hard is Super. No, Adaptive back the other way. In July, a little bit beefier, however. Able to survive through this. They are not getting split push right now. They can continue this pressure. Adaptive just constantly going off in both directions. Pretty hot. Kept alive by his Gravekeeper's Cloak, but that's going to quickly start to wear off. Super with another lift. And now XDD also engaging. Haven't really seen a whole lot out of the Slark, but he's going to start to clean up everybody. Goes in, finishes off CSMJ. Looks for XDT as well. Is low on mana, but pops that drum charge and uses it to kill the Rax. GG! HGT are eliminated from the TI5 China qualifiers, and with that, a lot of people's compendium predictions go up in smoke.
And Wings don't care. They're just happy that they won.
I gotta say, they looked very prepared for this Drow Visage strat. It was the first 2 picks, but even so, I mean, it wasn't just like they knew the strat was coming, they had a good draft to deal with it. They had just excellent decision-making as well.
Yeah, the Rubik roam it just did so much. Normally, you don't expect Rubik to do anything except babysit in the lane.
Especially solo.
Yeah.
Like, going back to, I feel like one of his biggest plays was that mid gank where